All right, the golden pack for a change today, and I've been getting an awful lot of these turn 1 tier 2s lately. Sometimes it can be weeks or months between the usable runs, but I've had a whole bunch of them lately, and unfortunately on this one, turn 1 triple magpie turns into African penguin, which with a 1-3 stat line is not going to be anything on turn 1 really. I'm not sure if there are any of the tier 2s in the golden pack that have a chance at a win or a draw by themselves on turn 1. Maybe Hercules Beetle's stats would be good enough if the opposing team was only a 2 squad. I'm not sure. This may actually be the first one I've ever had in the golden pack going for a turn 1 tier 2. I'm not 100% sure. But now on turn 3, I'm just looking for some decent stuff to sort of fill the gap. And normally I would not buy, you would never buy an apple for a level 1 African penguin on turn 3. But because of the nature of the challenge, you have to keep the tier 2 for the entire game. And so that's what I'm going to do. And Lizard here is one of the pets that's been changed on the test server. I think it only gets 1 or 2 triggers now. So a bit of a massive downgrade there. And luckily on the starting shop I got 2 more 1.5s. So we're ready for level ups with Groundhog and Silk Moth. I feel like Golden Pack, I used to play it a lot more roundabout when it first came out. Obviously, it was a lot easier. A lot of players had not sort of adapted to the way it plays because it's quite a bit different from some of the other packs. And luckily here I get on the level up the Manatee. So that means I can immediately start focusing some buffs onto the Penguin, which has to stay on the team. And the Silk Moth means that I can regenerate a little bit of health for the Manatee. I'm not going to go for the Monkey. I've had an awful lot of games where I've tried to go for Monkey and it just has fallen apart. I feel like you need an awful lot of things to go right. But Manatee by itself is pretty good as long as you can keep it alive. And one of the ways to do that is with Crane, which can apply melon to it. And so we'll definitely be looking for that. And again, I'm spending gold on apples purely because I know I have to keep the Penguin. Again, the Silk Moth refills the Manatee's health, but at 5 health, it's still going to faint next turn. So I'm going to have to do something about that. Another Manatee team, and I think they're going to beat me here. Or is it going to be... Yeah, okay, so they generate just enough trumpets at the very end. But we can still make a comeback, I think. And luckily on the Groundhog level up, we get the Crane. So now I still have to give the Manatee some health for it to survive. And I think Lettuce is an option for that. There is the banana there, but like I said, I'm not going to go for the Monkey. And Lettuce originally did not used to buff pets of the next tier above, but thankfully it buffs both the tier 4s and 5s at this point. And the Manatee is now a melon unit with 1 health, which is something that would make absolutely no sense in any pack other than the golden pack. And here we actually scrape a 1 HP win, or I guess the Retriever survives as well, so it's not quite a 1 HP win, but the Silk Moth is pretty much useless now because the Crane is going to be behind the Manatee permanently now, really. But I really need to find another Manatee in order to get the health back up to 12. I think its starting health is 11. In any case, I don't find anything, which is very frustrating. And the Manatee is guaranteed to lose the melon, and therefore will just be a 9-1. I really should move I could move the Crane forwards, but I really just want the Manatee to keep buffing the Penguin because it's still the only thing that is guaranteed to stay on the team. Another Emu, I'm always kind of apprehensive when I see it because sometimes it seems like it's an easy win and other times you just get destroyed. And here I get destroyed. So we're down to lethal, turn 9, and we're only on 3 trophies, so there's a long way to go. I take the Crane level, which again is kind kind of suspect with the Manatee, and double roll, don't find anything, but with 1 gold left, I find the Manatee, so it's definitely worth selling the Stilt in order to keep the Manatee alive and have the Crane give it attack and melon. And luckily we actually get matched with this opponent, another Manatee team, but in fact another Manatee plus African Penguin team. Kind of strange to see 2 African Penguins on turn 9. I guess they were maybe just doing that for the Bird of Paradise buy sell. So I think we'll take the Octopus and the Waffle and then probably sell it off and then get another Crane in. So this time the Manatee will buff the Crane, but it is going to lose its melon, and of course the other Crane doesn't activate. But it's the other Crane's really just there in case it gets hit with a snipe, or if it just happens to survive, maybe against a pig or something spawned from a wolf. But easy win that time. The African Penguin just solos the opposing team with the Crane applying melon. And I roll into the double sea line, so I decide that I think I just combine the 2 Cranes here and then run the Sea Lion sandwich for both health and attack on the units in the middle. The Manatee, the Crane, and the African Penguin are all keepers at this point, basically. But now that it's turn 11, that means we can start finding pita bread, which is, the killer combo really with the Manatee, and a 1 HP scrape here. Because of the African Penguin, it does mean that Pretzel is useless, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think, I'm freezing the Oyster here because I know at some point I'm going to combine the Sea Lions and then we can buy sell into the empty space. Also get the African Penguin level up. Kind of weird to be leveling up a tier 2 on turn 13, but that's just the nature of this challenge, I guess. Highland Cow plus Nyala, but fortunately it's Surgeon Fish instead of Nurse Shark, and the African Penguin actually has enough attack to just immediately dispense with the Bulldog. Another person keeping an early game unit for a very long time. I level up the Crane, and I guess it's pretty unrealistic that anything's going to take 3 hits and still survive because of our health. I get in a lot of the time in the Golden Pack you're going to have much higher attack than you do health, and I gave up on the Oyster and we'll just take the potato here because it was the only thing available and carry on with the double Sea Lion. Another Nyala team and another team with keeping some early game units for a long time, but fortunately the attack on the it's kind of funny there where the unit gets buffed but then actually faints itself with the chocolate cake. So I'm not really sure what I could be looking for to improve the team here. It's kind of too late to be trying to scale any of the other tier 6 units, I think. And here I just take the 2/2 Pretzel. But the Manatee now getting a couple of hits from Pita Bread is massively improving its stats. And we actually only need 2 more wins now. A summon team, kind of difficult to tell how it's going to go. Probably depends on what's inside the white whale or the beluga whale, and of course it's another Nyala. But the fact that the Manatee has the melon is super important here, because it's going to mean that I'm going to survive the coconut, regenerate the melon, and then be able to trade with the last 2 units. So Crane Manatee just so good when melon is not generally available in the pack. Here I think I might actually, we'll take another pita bread and level the Sea Lion rather than looking for something else to replace it. I think at this point we're kind of committed to this lineup. There aren't too many units that you can just sort of pivot in at the last minute and actually have a lot of value. A huge Highland Cow team with their level 3 orangutan, but the melon regen is so good. Yeah, actually getting 2 activations off the crane there was incredible. And now it's 9 wins, turn 16. Yeah, this African penguin has come a long way. And I think we're actually going to get a 50-50 manatee here. With the buffs from the sea lion, it turns into a 50-50. And another Nyala team, you see so many of them. But we immediately move the muskox to the front. They don't have any units with big enough stats for the crane to actually do anything. And again, we're getting the melon double up on the manatee, and it's a convincing victory with the bonus level 3 crane ribbon. So turn 1, African penguin, my first run of its kind in Golden Pack, hopefully many more to come.